So these guys now, when they want to employ someone, I always tell people in our conversations, when they want to employ someone, they need someone who knows, who has learned how to throw a punch 1,000 times or 10,000 times.
Consistency.
So they need someone that, for example, they want to employ a data analyst. They need someone that has been doing data analysis for years.
Yes.
They don't need someone that has done data analyst and has done a
Business analyst.
Business analyst and programming.
Yes.
It will work against you in the sense that they will think you are not focused because when they employ you, they just want you to do.
They want you to be a master
job.
of one.
So it's know how to throw a punch 10,000 times, not no 10,000 punches.
Hello, boys and girls. Hello, friends. Welcome to Japa Chronicles special edition, special feature edition. I'm here in my friend's seat. You know, I feel so bad because when he sees me sitting on this seat,
Shebi, I told you that if people did not see Isaac in the next podcast, you know what happened. You see, it's back here. Well, please carry.
Yeah, I'm in Isaac's seat. It feels weird.
It looks. You don't.
No fit me. I like being in the center.
And then you know now come with your normal.
I know Isaac wore it on the last. I gave Isaac. It fit him. He's not dressing like me. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We have Dr. Babe here. Dr. Babe, introduce yourself for our listeners.
As he has rightly said. Don't mind you. My name is actually Simon.
Yes.
But I prefer to go by Dr. Babe.
So
My popular audience.
we have a special guest. We flew him in from the UK. You know, we usually those doings. We're used to those kind of doings.
It's not something that we like to
brag about, you know. So we feel our special guest is the founding partner of an interesting organization. You know, Japa partners, we're always giving you the latest. Pathfinders Consult, based in the UK. You want to introduce yourself, sir?
Sir, do it with shoulder pad.
No, my friend is humble.
No, do it with shoulder pad.
Okay, my name is Omolasho.
Okay.
Everyone calls me Lash, so you can call
Captain
me
Lash.
You can call me Lash. I'm co-founder of Pathfinders Consults. So basically, as the name says, Pathfinders, we help people abroad, people in diaspora find their paths.
Yeah.
So it's Pathfinders. We help people find their paths.
Why you did laugh?
No, because I remember something somebody said. Somebody said, all of you when they go abroad, you no get paths, you no get destiny when they go find them.
Well, Pathfinders is here to help you find it. I like.
So if you are still looking for your paths, we can help you find it. We've helped numerous immigrants find their paths, and it's not just UK thing. Forget that I'm from the UK. We have consultants everywhere: Australia, Ireland, Sweden, Germany,
Canada.
That's why I say you should do it with shoulder pad.
We did everywhere.
Flesh and blood did not
You know, we did everywhere.
Continue.
So I mean, so if you guys are wondering where is Isaac, Isaac is in Ogbomoso. And Sinom said, Sinom talk. Say it so that. Say it.
It's when I decided to be nice to Isaac. In the last episode, that's why I told you that if you not say it's me, it's my doing, but I will not talk to him.
Sinom said Isaac going to go see his brother.
Don't come.
His brother, his situation. So Lash, just for context, you know, in our last episode with Sinom, we're talking about long distance relationships. Something you should know about.
I think I know a bit of long distance relationship.
So Sinom's fiancé is in the UK, where you are, and Lash in the UK. Why are you looking? It's weird to hear what do you want us to call you? Do you want to call your brother?
It's not my brother. No.
Okay, your partner.
It's my brother in Christ.
Your brother in Christ. Okay.
But don't be saying if you have not seen ring on my hand.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Sinom's special friend in the UK. And you know, you two from UK, you've been get some.
You sound like he has a disability.
What is Sinom's boyfriend is in the UK.
Okay.
You had the babe here.
Yeah.
And so
emphasis on hard.
Hard, yes.
So in case people don't
yes,
he's
co-founder is single. Go to say he's already single.
I'm very single.
If you're in the UK,
we don't just help you.
You can send DM. So we help you. We do. It's not that our faith we don't really like the connect like that, but he's ready.
So this is your cue to
listen to. Yeah.
Yes.
So Sinom is also doing a PhD.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so
that's where the
Dr. Babe came from. So she tell her Bobo say when she finish PhD, you know they call him babe again. And you know they call him doctor.
That makes
babe.
sense.
You agree, Abby? So, and I don't tell my guy, he's ever starting PhD. I don't know what they wait for. So, as he never, Blair said she could finish her own before he won. So that's where that came from. And but I mean, what again? Let's just take a cue from how was long distance? Because you were telling me yesterday that a lot of people do long distance, married and unmarried. What was that experience like?
I was long distance. It was a bit. It was okay. It was good. Well, it was stressful in the sense that, I mean, if there are issues, something that you could resolve face to face, you now have to resort into calls. And if the other party isn't picking your calls, it's just like, what's going on? You know, if you guys were together, you have to sit down to resolve it. There will always be issues in relationship. You have to sit down to resolve it. But when the other party is far away and everyone is forming shoulder pad, and no one wants to pick the call, no one wants to call the other.
Why is it that all the guys on this podcast are always emotional?
It creates a rift.
I don't want to say it, but I say
Lash, you're letting us down because on the pod,
somebody say he wept.
So,
I will not let us get
because you without saying too much, we already feel like, why is it that it's with the guys where we go, and those are always more emotional. Once we are committed to it, and you know, Sino was telling us about head or heart, something that works where basically when you and your partner having a conversation, you want to have a communication chain that understands that, okay, is this a head matter? Is it a heart matter? And she was also telling us how that has worked for her. And so you can see the laugh. She's containing the laughter.
I think I did the class.
You did the class with Zero, right? Zero is taking us on communication classes right now, particularly relationship. So yeah, but Sino, how do you actually handle that bit of when you're actually having, like you said, like an argument or something happened or something was miscommunicated? How do you guys handle that?
Well, that's the thing. Me, I'm the type of person that does not like addressing issues in the heat of the moment. But he likes addressing.
I think that's all, guys.
Yes, he likes.
I think that's all of us.
And I'm always very particular about that because I don't like situations where we're already having a misunderstanding because of I'm explaining something that. So continue explaining that in the moment. So I always like to just, take
a step back.
That's actually smart. That's
interesting.
Not making a decision in the heat of
the moment. Yeah, emotional.
I saw something recently. They said that human beings, when we are like having a fight or a disagreement, we are more quick to react rather than respond.
Yeah.
Reacting is you're reacting based on
how you feel.
But when you're responding, it's like you have thought about the person's standpoint, analyzed. Do you understand?
And you can never do that really in the moment, like you said.
Psychology.
Sit down and speak fast. Yeah, and that. So that's basically it. So
I'm doing paid consultation for relationship.
Wow. I was saying counseling. Can you imagine long distance?
That's my specialty.
How to succeed?
Yes.
Succeeding in. Should we do?
I should do bestseller.
Bestseller.
I think you are.
Or long distance relationship for dummies.
Wow.
Because all of us have been in it, and that's really it. Sometimes, and I always have the guys on the podcast because I'm always honest myself that
the most important. Did you wept?
Did you wept?
My
guy is pleasing
not on podcast.
Because
I just want. I don't want to answer, so I can say no. I can say yes.
No, sir. Your silence speaks.
Your silence has said.
Your silence is loud. Wow. So, but that's interesting because we men must actually do better with our emotions and how to, learn how to communicate. Sinom really has taught us that, and so Isaac went the following day to do it with his sister in the UK. He texted me, Mr. Dipa, I've been doing head or heart for 2 hours now. It was funny. So right now, about they regularly do every weekend night head or heart.
So that's good.
Because his madam she works during the week and all that. So, but I mean, it's an interesting thing for women to be able to accept also not just our faults, but like things we don't know, and we can get better. So usually would ask, how was your week? So, how was your week?
My week was oh god.
PhD is really giving you bad.
It's not even PhD, it's my ear. I went and my daddy
last time you went to the ENT.
That is the thing. My daddy said you went to the hospital with less problem.
You now came back with more
extra. Like
I mean, that's mechanics. Our parents say that's a mechanics.
pain.
Wow.
Like I could not sleep. I had to go back to the hospital.
What was the issue?
They said that there's water. They asked me because normally when you finish when you wash your head, they say that allow water to enter. And me, I'm diligent in that type of time. I know to like wahala because I cannot come and be doing extra.
Chai.
And I went back. The issue it was
sorry
bad.
there.
I because the throat, everything I could not open my mouth.
Wow. That's interesting.
I ate amala.
You ate amala. That was solid this week.
That was even though I still reacted to it,
but that's
amala solves all things. Amala with beggy right?
That's the reason.
I don't even eat amala because I'm allergic to amala.
But you ate it this week.
Because they don't have semo.
And it slapped.
Yes, and that's why.
Thank you. It slapped. Let's leave the matter so that there's no slander. All right, so last how was your whole week now? I mean, you've only been around and you're around for just a couple of days. By the time this hour comes out, my guy wants to run back.
That is the question to
He told me yesterday I bought for 30,000.
Yesterday evening, I bought full of 27k. Last time I bought 25k. I bought 23k. But full is so expensive.
What is left of it?
What
is left?
Like the full, I bought full tank yesterday and just driving to Ireland and back. Like full has even reduced.
Sorry, Baba.
What?
Do you miss Nigeria?
Do I miss Nigeria? Obviously, I don't miss Nigeria.
But
I miss my family.
Your family,
in Nigeria.
But your people are the Nigeria. Exactly, right? People are the Nigeria. Let's not deceive ourselves. I mean, for me, my whole week just chilled. I'm excited. Syndrome is not going to like what we're about to talk about. Banter Liga is back tomorrow, man.
Yeah! This guy takes FPL too serious. He was showing me a book where I was writing player name.
Bro, see, let me tell you something. And I say it boldly. I do too many things. Football is like the only outlet between church work, office work, family work. Football, I don't club, I don't do any other thing. Football, and maybe a nice, decent legal or doctor movie. It's my only outlet. I've been on break for 3 months. FPL is back.
Why do I feel like Isaac
Banter League Nation?
Where did you finish last season?
See, I think I started looking for trouble. I was 6th.
Oh, that was good. Yeah. Right.
He was our first champion, though, by the way, on the group.
And last season, I didn't.
But last season he wasn't really. And now he's off. He's on sabbatical. He's making money.
Like
all right. So let's dive right into it. But FPL is back, guys. Premier League is Community Shield tomorrow. Isaac is a wise political guy. He's camped with the ruling party.
But wait, please, when you do, not if.
When I remove him, I should let you know.
Let me know.
I will.
So that,
that's your beef with Isaac.
So it's off and on camera. They drag themselves. And the last episode, boy, did Isaac deal with that. So all right. So last, there's some what's that? What we like call the word now? Just to let our audience know.
Yep.
Your history. You went to the UK a couple of years ago. University of Hull.
Yep.
Master
in logistics and supply chain management.
All right.
How
was that?
A big man course.
Yeah, it is. He did computer science his first degree. Yeah. He was going to follow that line. And he changed
I was
it
going to do
because
computer science again. Then I was cycling with Dipo, and Dipo told me I'll never forget. So we were cycling. I think we just come back from Ireland. I went Bagada Express. And I told Dipo I'd already gotten admission to study computer science. And Dipo was like, why am I doing computer science again? Why don't I just do logistics? Since I was doing logistics. I'm like, that makes sense. I like logistics.
And he sent an email. And the story is that's all. The rest is history.
I'm glad I changed to logistics because like I was already tired of computer science, and logistics is much more, to me, it's much more interesting and practical. And it makes use of my best skills. Yeah. More of communication, management, and the likes.
It's interesting.
So rather than just
if you guys are wondering who the Dick Boy is, me. They call me King of Japa. It's my Dick Boy. It's funny because we were having that conversation, and the other story is that I knew he had a logistic company here. He was in Lagos, Port Harcourt, and I think was he Abuja? Port and so I was like, why not just continue in that line and all that? And that's why I tell people that, look, if you come to my Japa Limited or Ilé Education consultation, I want to know what you do and I can help you. But that's
don't give too much.
Too much. I should get okay. But okay, so you did that for 1 year, and I mean your experiences have been very unique, a bit different from people. You had family there I remember when you got there for about a couple of weeks. You had family there. Yeah. How was settling in initially for you when you got into the UK? Okay,
so settling into the UK was for me a bit easier than normal in the sense that I already had like a template from people who had gone ahead to me, even right from when I was applying. Like when I was doing my TB test, I already had someone that had done TB test that gave me tips how to just do this thing very fast and not waste my time. So when I got to the UK, I stayed with my uncle. He picked me up at the airport. So it was like very easy for
those
me.
are the
So, some people, you get to the airport and you have to cab or you have to use train and you have to find your way. My uncle just picked me directly at the airport to his house. I stayed in his house for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was just like acclimatizing to the code and still eating Nigerian food. So I was being eased gradually into UK. Then I went to All. So before I got to All, my friend has already spent about 5 years in All. He did his master's and PhD in All. So he already sent me a list of what to do, where to go. So as I got to All, it was not like so much change. I already knew where to go and everything, what to do, how to open a bank account, get my BRP, go to GP and register, all those stuff. So he already gave me all the basics. So compared to the average person, I had so much information from people who had like gone ahead.
And that's why I know that when you started talking about this, your intentions to help people and all that. Like that's why Pathfinders just came so easy to a couple of you, particularly when you have a network of people there and you have really experienced and that. What was it like in University of Hull? Like the learning, was it new based on your experience? You're already a business owner and things like that. Your goals, what was that like? What was that wording like?
I'm actually really grateful that he told me to study logistics rather than computer science. So growing up, I liked computers. So obviously computer science and like what after I had a bit of sense, it was now more of logistics, and I enjoyed logistics. I enjoy moving stuff from one place to the other. So going to study logistics was more of a passion. So when we're in class studying, talking about logistics, talking about supply chain, it came easy to me. So I could.
Because you're already in
I loved it.
Wow.
So I could do my assignments myself. I could do my research myself, and everything was like I was reading ABC.
Wow.
Because it made sense to me, because this is what I like. So one of the things I want to tell people now is just do what you like. It's not just about doing any course. Do what you like, and the assignments will be very easy.
Two things. Not just doing any course that you hear that people say will bring money. Everybody will do.
Do
what comes easy to you.
Like I did all my assignments myself, and it was very
You told me now that some people were paying, is it 300K? You were telling me about like some people couldn't do the assignment. They had to find who will help them.
Couldn't do the assignment.
They come to us.
They come to people like
so you have to pay people. But for me, it came easy because it was like reading novels. Like most of my assignments now was look at what companies are doing and bring out and explain their strategies. So when I was reading companies like Amazon, Tesla, Apple, it was like very easy for me. And it's even what I read then I'm using in my current place of work.
Wow.
The strategies I learned that these companies are using, what I'm even implementing in my current place of work. So my own advice on this is just do what you like, do what you enjoy. So when you get there, because these guys, they won't just teach you, they will just tell you this and go and explain
follow through.
They'll point you to the path.
Right direction. They don't just give you advanced master's level. Yes. They expect you to.
And they'll tell you to go and read. And you have to read. And if you don't enjoy it, for example, now if I had gone to study something maybe like biochemistry or anything, I'll be annoyed. Because I'm like, this thing.
I can't even think.
I'm like, this thing don't make sense. But when it was logistics, it was like I was reading novels. It was so interesting and easy to me.
This really talk this sweet me. I just want to talk something.
It was so interesting and easy to me. So
I want to ask you one question.
Yeah, thank you for telling me.
Don't say thank you, camera sir. I do have a USD and a pounds account. You haven't just told that. Just do something extra. Even with your two babies where say day house now. So they talk all this stuff for camera. Share that. Anyway, it's fine.
Don't worry.
Well, I mean, I'm always happy. The truth is, because I said a lot of people abroad and things like that, when I hear stories like this or I'm part of that story, it makes me happier because the people that go after those things, I see them struggle and I'm in my mind. Because you can't tell them I told you so. You know that kind of person, like you say, don't do this one, you go do them. When they struggle, you can't say I told you so. But you could feel bad because like I told you now, you know.
But again, it's sometimes with this cost thing, it's not necessarily that they don't want to do what they're passionate. It's just because of family or maybe people that come
peer
from
pressure.
Where
But
parents say determine the course that you're going to do.
Yeah, you're right.
But
Those factors
let's
also.
be honest. I mean, then when I was going, if like most parents, now if you tell them what do you want to choose, computer science, logistics, like
They'll say, it's
not computer science they'll go with.
I'm traumatized from Babcock, computer science students, CS, CT, CIS,
all of them. Everything was a hit back to back. F all through.
They used to say computer science boys.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's good.
and it's interesting because thank God for even like New Horizon in all our private schools that really sort of simplified it for us. Like with New Horizon, you could really not fail computer science, even if it was just a LM, was it elective?
Sorry, don't say that too.
Who's difficult?
Don't say that too. Some people did carry over.
Wow.
The 100 level course, they carry over in 200 level. Carry it over and still in 300.
Wow. So, Lash, what trends have you noticed? I mean, you've been in the UK for a couple of years. You have, I know that you were in London, then you moved to Hull. I don't know if I can even disclose where you are now, but you've moved to another city. You've been to other cities. I mean, in our cycling club, I tell people, I think almost 30 people have Japa since COVID, right?
So
and some of our friends are there. Like, what have you observed about those trends? Well, I mean, it just seems like a season. I sometimes say it's grace. Like it seems like a season where young people have decided to. Moving is always easy. Yeah. We had what about Amy go to Netherlands? We had Flora go to Japan. So it wasn't even just UK or Canada. You know, Malik is going to the UK. Yeah. Has he even gone? No, he's still in Nigeria. He's going very soon. A couple of days. Yeah, exactly. So what trends have you noticed just being there? Like what have you noticed about the UK?
The UK, to be honest, what I've noticed,
I think he's talking like immigration wise.
Yes,
like,
yes, immigration wise. Yes.
Immigration wise. Yes. Okay, I've noticed that most people that are actually immigrating, they are tired of Nigeria. They're tired of Nigeria. I mean, that's even why I relocated, because I was tired of Nigeria. I thought I wasn't doing my best.
I'm sorry. I have a question. This was how many years ago?
2 years ago.
If you were tired then, so us that are here in 2023, what are we supposed to?
I told you yesterday.
So people's life are in seasons or in phases. Like you could be tired now, you could be tired next year.
This season, it have overtired us. This particular one, it have overtired us.
Lash, yesterday I read that our president has told the Senate he wants us to go to war.
And they'll recruit you guys now.
Who is the you guys?
They'll recruit you guys now.
It is our dear
but it's not 5 million or 50 million youths. It's in Agbado.
Yes. Those are people the one that said to
us. So because I always like to talk about data. So Lash, on a scale of 1 to 100, which would be a percentage of 1 to 10, what percentage of people come into the UK as young people looking to forge their path, as opposed to those that want to Japa? Like in your opinion, if you meet 10 Nigerians or 10 Africans, how many of them do you just want to Japa? And I don't even say we should just say Africans, because Indians are Chinese, are like the larger populace that immigrate. What will you say?
I think both of them are the same thing, to Japa and to forge your path. Because if you Japa, you're actually looking for something better. You want to be something better. So when you get there, you have to like forge your path. I think
what of the managers that live here with their family and then go and be working in a warehouse?
So that's the thing again. They Japa for a better life, and when they get there, they are not
It's a honest question. Is looking like I'm being petty. Honestly, I'm just trying to, like, if you were a manager here doing very well, it's different from if you were a young person like us, like 30, 35 below, looking to forge your own path.
And do you know that my sister always says that there are people that would Japa to another man's land and be doing jobs that
were less.
They will look at as being demeaning in their own country.
Yes, we use the word ekaite.
So what one thing about I can't speak for other countries because I've not been there, but one thing about the UK is all jobs they pay, even if it's washing plates, that's kitchen porter, or being a steward, all jobs they pay, and they can actually make you live very good.
True.
So it's not about the meaning or anything. So what we as pathfinders are majorly even trying to do, obviously I'm not trying to even remove, because there are people that have to wash the place, people that have to be steward,
yes, clean and all that. Yes.
What we are trying to do is, now that manager that you mentioned that Japa with his family, he doesn't know how to sell himself.
God bless you. Which is why yes.
He doesn't know, because let me tell you something. I was even thinking as I was on my way here. I was thinking I had issue with getting a job. I'll be honest. That I'm advising people how to get a job. I didn't have issue. I had issue with getting a job. Why? I didn't know how to sell myself. So, for example, now when I was managing faster deliveries, I was logistics manager, I was operations manager, I was procurement.
Yeah.
I was doing those 3 things. So when I got abroad, I was done with my school looking for a job. I thought having those things on my CV that I was doing this, doing that, doing this
Would be good. Whereas,
but it was working against me in the sense that, so these guys now, when they want to employ someone, I always tell people in our conversations, when they want to employ someone, they need someone who knows, who has learned how to throw a punch 1,000 times or 10,000 times.
Consistency.
So they need someone that, for example, don't want to employ a data analyst. They need someone that has been doing data analysis for years.
Yes.
They don't need someone that has done data analyst and has done a
Business analyst.
Business analyst and programming.
Yes.
It will work against you in the sense that they will think you are not focused, because when they employ you, they just want you to do.
They want you to be a master
job.
of one.
So it's know how to throw a punch 10,000 times, not no 10,000 punches.
So that was even, you almost answered the question I was about to ask, that what are the challenges that individuals face, like with the job markets in the UK?
So,
is it just because of the experiences you have in your CV, or what exactly? Are there other reasons?
Majorly is they don't know how to sell themselves. One, they don't know how to sell themselves. And that's what I've highlighted. Because now, if one thing we do with people, the first thing, if you come to us, that help us find our parts, we don't just, okay, what do you want to do? We do a business analyst CV for you. We don't do that. We talk to you, we listen to you, we listen to your skills. And I was talking to someone a couple of days ago, and he was telling me about his skills. He wants to be a business analyst. I remember I was like, the skills you have is for UI UX designer. I was telling you yesterday, the skills are for UI UX designer. That why don't you just focus on UI UX?
And they pay a lot for that.
And they pay a lot for that. So we don't just do a generic CV for you. We have to listen to you and not tell you that this part is actually much more easier based on your skills. And we now do a CV for you. Where we now take, as UI UX designer now, you might be doing a bit of products in Nigeria, because one person does work of like 3 people. So we now take all those products out.
You don't do all that there.
We take it out of your CV.
Yeah.
We just focus on UI
one
UX.
thing.
So when you go for interview, don't tell them you are doing product. Be thinking you want to get an edge. You think you're not serious.
That works here, it doesn't work there.
It works because they'll give you so many people's work. But then they need a UI UX designer. They need someone that does UI UX. Like in my former place of work, so I do procurement, where it was like procurement consultancy. So I had clients I was managing. So one of our suppliers called and she was having issues with invoice, and I could resolve it. But my line manager told me that this is finance work. I should push it to finance. I shouldn't do it.
Which was it would be like strange to you, like,
I'm like,
normal for Nigeria.
How
many minutes
I would do it.
Whether you even have the time or not, you are doing it. You said you have it with the skill, Abi.
And it's interesting, because I'm already getting 2 things that people, I hope our listeners are saying: focus and consistency. That's already 2 very key things.
Yeah.
Apart from the knowledge, so you've got focus, you've got consistency, and then you have to have the knowledge.
Yeah.
Because people used to say for years that the reason why Africans didn't get jobs in the UK was because of racism. Do you agree with that?
Okay, so reason why Africans didn't get a job is like it's not true. It's not true. It's not true. See, so
but do you think it plays a part in it?
It doesn't play a part, because okay, if you can sell yourself well, I'll use myself as an example, and people in my circle, we get job offers regularly.
Yeah.
Just this year alone, I've gotten 4 job offers.
Follow no.
And there was a I'm black. I'm very, very black.
Yeah.
I like how you emphasize that.
There was a recruiter that was calling me and begging me to sign. I'm like, I can't leave. I can't sign that offer.
Yeah.
I can't sign that offer. I know my plan. I know my parts. I know what I want to do. And don't make a mistake. I didn't just cook up this plan myself. It was from my own circle. And that's where pathfinders come in, because some people, they don't have people in their circle that can influence their thoughts. You know, back in CU, they will tell us iron sharpeneth iron. And imagine you're not in the midst of iron.
Yeah.
They can't sharpen. They can't sharpen.
If everything blunt, everything goes blunt.
While I was seeking for a job,
this table has been shattered.
Sister is
I was seeking for a job. I had people I spoke with in my circle that sharpened my mind, that sharpened my reality, and they don't make me see that it's impossible. I've seen people get jobs. I've seen people get regular offers. My guy actually resumed a job on Monday. I was in his DM offering him on that job.
Yeah.
If he can do it, why can't I do it?
Yeah.
So when I have these people in my circle, my belief in myself is like strong. But when you don't have those kind of people in your circle, you just take anything you want. So
that's why they say your friends
Show me your friend. I'll tell you who you are.
who you
They
are.
say your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
I'm excited when he's talking because in my mind I say, nah me. I know when Sheon go watch this video, I go to Sheon, you know say you don't know life before me. It's good when you have KOJ in your corner. You don't feel they make mistake. But that's also the reality because culturally,
Yep.
and I would also always like to say personally, so that they will not think that someone is just being dramatic. But culturally, I think that Africans are not used to getting help or asking for help.
Yes.
So you agree, right?
Yes.
Because-
they see it as being weak.
Because what he said about even his own, this small story between him, Lash and I about changing course, it's just because of the kind of person I am. I'll do it for anybody, right? Now, what he's doing with his brand, even though some of it has some paid services, but largely in that community, they're also doing a lot of free stuff, like what he's saying to people now. You understand?
Yep.
But people are not used to, because when we go to those places, you say, don't talk to anybody.
Yeah, I don't know why people are just like that. Don't tell any Nigerian.
Because we're not used to it. Even here, when you are traveling here, they say your
they
parents
say,
will tell you,
don't
even
tell
if it's
anybody.
Lagos to Ibadan.
Don't tell anybody.
I don't know whether it's a spiritual thing. I don't know.
I don't understand why.
But the reality is that what you need to do is, if I know Sinom, that means I didn't just call her my friend. I have gotten to know her and I can trust her.
Yep.
Now, if we are of the same faith, it makes my life easier.
Yep.
I should be able to trust you guys and say, guys, well, I go Abeokuta next week.
I think
I just say, I tell you.
Yep.
Same thing when you go into a new...
But then I
Any
think the problem
country.
is because in this part of the world, we are very quick to call everybody, oh, this is my friend, this is my friend, this is my friend. They are not. And somebody was saying it a couple of, some months back, said, at this stage in your life, you should be able to be comfortable to categorize certain people as acquaintances.
Yep.
I know of you, I don't know. You know, there's a difference between I know you and I know of you.
Yeah.
We say hi. Doesn't mean we are friends.
Yes.
Yep.
Do you understand?
Yep.
It's okay to say, oh, we're just units.
We're colleagues.
Do you understand?
Yep.
But in this part of the world, once we are saying
everybody's my friend.
everybody's my friend. I think that is where the issue is.
And that is
because they
particularly
cannot
when,
trust.
particularly when you've gossip with the person. Like we do office. So Sinom and I don't gossip about something. The following day, I don't say Sinom na my bestie. That's another very important thing.
Well,
Or any of your TV shows that you watch together.
Yeah.
They now begin to, like in my office now, the girls talk about K-drama.
You like K-drama.
The 4-5 they will come begin to, by the way, I suspect that them they spoil our internet because my fiber people don't tell you the people they drag our network and they go be all these girls without but it makes them happy.
Yeah.
So they tell me that over the weekend I hear them talk about, and they'll be talking about this. But that doesn't mean you are friends.
Yep. Because
What then happens in the office also is, if for instance their oga, not me, their oga convex for them, this one will go the turn on this one. And I could also say, she be the two of them be friend. If not really be friend, I go tell herself the truth.
yeah, sure.
And that's, I think, the problem. What have you seen in the UK about Africans or people not just having that synergy, particularly when we are together, we see that we have the same color. We don't have to immediately be friends, but I always think that we should be willing to help each other.
Help each other.
What have you seen?
So I've seen the good and
The bad.
ugly side. So let me start with the bad. The bad is where someone is doing something and is like doing okay there, and is like, I don't want to tell anybody because it will come and spoil the place for me. And that might be valid, but it doesn't take anything away from you to help anyone.
Yeah.
Just lend somebody a hand. Oh, this place is good. This place, life is easy there. This place, they employed me.
Yeah.
I'm making my money easy.
Yeah.
Someone else needs a job. If the person asks you, tell the person.
Yeah.
Or someone will just, some people will just withhold that information. This episode, they so far, why they find job, or knowing the person is working somewhere. And there are also some people that, like again, my circle, like we all have the same mentality. Like we all have the same mentality. We have to succeed. And once, what I'm even like doing with Pathfinders now, and what I've spoken to people about, it's not even originally me. It's someone that showed me the way. Someone showed me the way.
Someone taught you for you to be able to do something.
So,
yeah.
like I said, I told you that I got to the UK and someone sent me everything. It's the same person that taught me. So I also have people I spoke with, and all these experiences I like sharing with people, because if nobody shared it with me, I was probably still be doing £10 per hour job.
And they say no knowledge is
lost.
So
Yeah.
all everything that we know is shared. It's gotten from somebody.
So,
but I think I also feel like a part of it is because of how over competitive we are in this part of the world.
that's it. We want to be better than everyone.
You get
But one thing I've come to see, especially in the UK, is there's so much opportunities for everyone. Like, I literally get DMs from not I won't say every day,
Like, very
at least DM on LinkedIn. At least I get like 3 every week telling me to apply. And if I just look at the salary, if it's not worth it, I'll just leave them alone. I have
because you
friends.
guys reasoning when they pay rent every month.
Yeah.
I have friends who do the same thing, and some of these things I forward. Like now, if a friend of mine, because when I meet people, I like to discuss career. If a friend of mine have told me that they're also doing procurement, I forward it to them. They should apply. It doesn't take anything from me.
Yeah.
There are so many job opportunities. Like just pick any career path, you see 1,000 roles on field in the UK, and you just have to sell yourself. Yeah, you will see rejections. That I'm talking, I get this thing often. Doesn't mean I don't get rejections. Like I could be on my phone now, I'm bored. I'll just apply to like 5 jobs.
Just for the fun of it, for the experience.
It doesn't take anything.
You said
from me.
something to me yesterday when we were having lunch that sometimes even applying to jobs is necessary experience and exposure, something like that.
Yeah. So sometimes when I apply, it's not necessarily for the job. It's I just want to get experience. I just want to know what it's about.
Yeah.
So
Like what does it feel like to apply to Apple or something like that? That kind of thing, just to know what the
The interview, and because the interview processes there is different from
it's
they
different.
are very open to. Because I remember when Rotimi was applying to certain jobs, they are more open to give you feedback.
They'll
Like
give
if you
feedback,
ask, like, how did I do in this? What is your comment? Like, what would you advise me to? They are very, unlike
you've opened one scar.
in Nigeria.
You've opened one scar.
Hey God, in Nigeria, it would be like say the employer they vex.
They vex. The recruiters know they smile.
I don't know if I had started really weird at that time. I applied to one of the biggest energy companies in Nigeria. And I knew that I should have I got to this stage of the interview. And I'm just flashing back as they talk because you just now I've been telling everybody that I wasn't going to take a job. I had friends there, I knew the HR, all those people, but I didn't want to work for anybody.
Yep.
But what she just said is valid because they just gave us a test and they asked us questions and all that, but there was no feedback.
That was wrong.
And in my mind, I'm like, this is one of the biggest companies in Nigeria. So here, and you know, when you hear these things, for me, people don't understand what they say, even sometimes, the scope of mental health. Because if I'm going to either hire you or sack you, or I'm going to, like, it is, you need to tell me what you are seeing. No, not say yes or no.
Yep.
And that's something
I've always said that
that we
when I
lack
have
here.
when I start my own company, that's something I'm going to very, so that you know how best to improve to get the next. Do you get?
Yep.
So that it's not that you are going from one interview to another without knowing what exactly, because in your head you might not be knowing what is the thing that you're doing wrong that is making.
And
them
then you begin to overthink.
As far as
and Nigerians we fit.
You overthink.
as far as
Then they will tell you to go vigil for night, go let's go into that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
As far as the candidate has been called for an interview, you're not a bad candidate.
Hey,
You just
what?
you just need that feedback. Oh,
Yes.
you didn't. That's why I say just like my friend tells me, sell yourself very well. If they tell me, can you give birth? I'll say yes. I'll say with a straight face, and you believe it.
Yeah. I mean,
I know how to sell myself.
Yeah.
Like what the job I'm currently doing. When I went for the interview, you see that I was very, very relaxed. I didn't even wear. You wear your shirt and tie. I wore a sweatshirt. I wore my jeans. I think I wore sneakers that day, safe. I was very, very confident. As I was going on the road, I was trekking. I was just listening to gospel music. I was very, very confident because I knew what to say.
Yeah.
I know how to sell myself.
So if the other thing is that confidence also tells you that if they don't take you, it's not you, it's them.
Not you. So
That's what I always tell people. That's what I do to myself. Any client comes to the office and they say, "No, I'm thinking about this another agency." It's your loss.
Thank you for saying that. There's this thing. So I'm sure you guys know people get a lot of rejections abroad in the UK. They get a lot of rejections. So when if I apply to your company, if I see the rejection, I just delete the email immediately. I tell myself, you don't know what you want. I believe I'm the best candidate.
That's it.
I believe in myself. I believe in my abilities.
See, that's why I'm king of Japa. It's not. There has to be data. Like you have to also have a track record of good work. But you must also sort of not just hype yourself. Like you must like you must give yourself that.
Because these employers, they see the confidence.
Oh yes.
Like
somebody said that from you opening the door, they can sense
whether I'm interviewing
you can do
you.
the job or not. Yeah. Your confidence would
Zoom or
you
physical.
will see the rubbish in your full chest.
Yes.
So I think I would also like to point something out that my own job is not really like technical skills, more of soft skills. So that I'm saying that I have so much confidence in myself. If you're a programmer, if you don't know how to program, you got some of your confidence.
That's why I said focus, consistency, and knowledge. Because if you know sabi the work, another matter. So go on.
I know the work. I know what's required in my own field. So I have so much confidence. So like some people might be listening to this now
and thinking that everything does soft.
Thinking everything just confidence.
Sorry, in case we said it like that, we're sorry.
That's not.
So
yes.
For example, now if like my friend now is a data analyst, so he had to obviously put in the work to brush up his skills before going for the interview. Yeah, he has the confidence, but he has to brush up his skills to be up to the required level. Yeah. So imagine he's just walking around with confidence, no knowledge. He go
chop confidence.
Oh, sorry. Don't do like us now.
I don't want anyone to mistake what I'm saying, that you just have to only have confidence.
Why were you looking at it?
He knows. He's trying to deflect. Don't do like us now. He's an Arsenal guy.
Let's don't
have confidence for 248 days and then lose it for 30 days when it was necessary.
It was so annoying.
I'm sorry, bro. I had to bring it up because I haven't seen you to. I know he didn't like their coach. The guy now gave him hope last season. But that's not that's not the.
No, that one that you have started, finish it too.
No, if we start discussing Arsenal, we're not finished. So,
okay, it's true.
Don't worry, tomorrow we're supporting you. Okay, so I mean, Okpe was here on the pod. Was it 2 months ago? And she was talking about when she was in Warwick, the opportunities to go for job seminars, network, and all that. What other career guidance tips do you have for people that are in school? So before we even go, what you do while you are in school, because the 20 hours per week you can do means you can't really do a full-time work, right? Yeah. So what do you do in that 9 to 12 month period?
So what I'm currently even advising someone right now who is in school is what I've seen that worked. So while I was in school, I was not serious. I was traveling. I was traveling. While I was in school, I was traveling.
Dr. Bib.
But there are people that were serious.
Some people flew their people to they rendezvoused.
Please scratch that off record.
That's how unserious my guy was, making money, going to class, and doing rendezvous.
So while I was in school, I was traveling, but I was reading, obviously.
Yeah.
So I was not focused as others. So some people that were in my class.
Sorry. Those sort of people don't also think that you're not serious because you're very brilliant. Was it focus, or was it that because it was easy to you while other people were struggling? So because if it was difficult, do you think you'd have been traveling? If you were struggling.
If I was struggling, I wouldn't have been traveling.
So don't let's mislead, because that's it. Yeah. Because I know, don't let's mislead people. Okay. It was because it was easy for you while your classmates were, it was a struggle for them.
People like this that you
will not. You don't like in class, yes, sir.
They'll be doing.
They don't go tell you they don't do assignment. You're like, they go work. Whereas
I've not read.
So don't tell us you lost focus, sir. Don't come at me. I'm familiar with your game.
What I meant by I lost focus is that I was not really like job hunting then. So my mind was when I finish, I would job hunt. But it wasn't true. It's not as if when you finish, you job hunt and get the job. I didn't know that. So some of my classmates, I know about 10 of them, immediately we finished school, we submitted our dissertation on Friday. By Monday, they were starting their jobs.
Wow.
So what was the difference? So some of them took some courses, extra courses apart from their degree. Some of them took it. Some of them were already applying.
In the UK?
Yeah. Some of them were already applying to jobs, doing interviews, and getting that interview experience. Actually, when you do your first interview, it doesn't mean you get the job. There are very, very people that get the job in their first interview. And when I did my first interview, I thought I had gotten the job. The next day they called me and gave me feedback. And what they said, they found someone was a better fit. And I don't blame them. I didn't tell them. I didn't tell them the only thing they require. I was telling them so many things that I've done. So they gave me feedback. I was not a better, but they found someone who was a better fit for the roles. So I didn't get interview experience.
That's why feedback is important.
Yeah. So I didn't get interview experience. Even I'm sure then I was even blabbing. So after school, it was when people have done while they were in school. That was what I was doing. So my advice for people that are in school is it's not too late. It's not too early. So like I'm advising somebody now that if they tell you, are you a student? Say no, you finished. When you get the job, you tell them you are still a student. They'll reject. They'll give the next candidate. But you've gotten something, the experience, the interview experience. You've gotten it, and you've gotten the confidence that this person has selected me when I actually need it. There's nothing I can't do. I'll get on that one. So you need the experience. You need the confidence because when there was a time I was even very down where I was getting so many rejections and I was down. But if you get the rejections now while you're in school, get out of your system. Rejection is normal.
You get familiar with the system.
You get familiar with it. You do a lot of interviews. You get perfect at it. When you're not finally done, you know, okay, you have all this experience. You know how to do this. You now look for the one. So that by the time you're ending your job, you are starting. So a lot of people, while they're in school, they are targeting money, working more than 20 are working under the shelf jobs. And to me, it's not the money.
Yeah.
The money you make working this white collar job is so much. Honestly, if I start talking about the money, some people will quit their jobs.
So interesting because your honesty is refreshing in that you even feel you made a mistake with that time that you thought you were even better than your colleagues. They even were doing some extra
better.
And you didn't even know.
It was after when I finished my dissertation, I was looking for a job, and also I was speaking to my colleagues that started it. Not to me, they did some courses. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? But if you don't ask, nobody will tell you. So,
and I think that's what makes the Western education system, because you can have a major and a minor in completely different. Like you can have a major, like for me, international relations, and a minor in something like biz. And you get, but in Nigeria, have you finished with your course?
You can't even change faculty. All the people that were in my school that wanted to change faculty, whether they've changed it till today, over how many years, you can't even change. And they say, enter, don't worry, you can change that first semester.
Thank you. That's how they carry me inside Babcock.
Wow.
I applied for law.
Oh.
Law.
But if I don't fit you. I don't stay. Sorry. Sorry. It's Isaac. I don't know. Sorry. Go on. Sorry.
I applied for law. They gave me French and international relations.
That one fit you.
Japa, Dr. Baby.
They said that after my first year, I can change if I do well.
Je suis.
I still finished and did my defense in French. And I collect my French and international relations certificate. Here I am today. So there's in Nigeria, if they tell you that you can change, don't believe them. It's a scam. It's scam.
Don't believe them. So apart now, I'm also thinking of the way we speak here, language and cultural barriers. How do you navigate that? Did you have any of those issues, or is it much?
Language and I don't think you get language issue. Everyone speaks English in England, in the UK.
Their intonation, because again, what to me has that experience with is work. It's like there is how do I explain? It's like a communication barrier in the sense where the way we are talking, is hard. Some of the words that we use, they don't,
and they are on too.
They can't really. It's
hey Lash, have you sent the email?
I think for me, I've been able to adjust to that. So when they are speaking, if I don't hear what they are saying, I ask them, please, can you repeat that? Like some people,
I watch BBC as guys.
They talk with their accents and they can't hear. I can't hear them clearly. Yeah. And if I can't hear them clearly, please, can you repeat what you said?
Yeah,
and
that's
I ask
allowed
them to repeat as much as possible. I understand.
Because diversity, even the India, so it's not because of diversity. Like their job market is Indians, Chinese. So it's not just the pure bred English, right? So like there's a lot of culture. So they have to allow that to. They can't pick people based on whether you can speak their English.
If you're also doing interview,
it's like that, they're not collecting anybody outside.
If you're also doing your interview, you have to be as audible as possible for them to hear. You can obviously speak English, but like now you don't. If I'm speaking with you, I can speak so fast. Like I can speak so fast. Yeah, you probably understand that. Yeah, that
they won't.
But they'll be like, "What did you say? Come again." So you probably just speak a bit slowly and clearly to them. And
all right,
everyone is good.
I wanted to ask, like, I know you said that it was a lot easier for you with settling in the UK.
Yeah.
So, but I've had friends that have had to, relocate, and then they've had to deal with depression because of the loneliness.
Yeah.
Do you get?
Yeah.
So, like, what would you, to make the process easier in a sense for people that are relocating to UK or wherever?
Yeah.
What would you say? Is it would you say it's because you had family there already, or what exactly is?
I think we should also just add
For the
that.
record.
Did you feel any mental health?
For the
Did you have
record, I'm
any
also
mental
lonely in the UK.
Exactly.
I'm
I was
also lonely.
I was going to say that.
But what's helping
He will
me?
drop his Instagram handle if you're in the UK.
What? No. I have somebody I'm talking to. I have somebody I'm talking
Sorry.
to. So I'm not.
Sorry,
I'm not
market have
interested.
closed.
I have somebody I'm talking to.
Market have closed.
So can I give her a shout out?
No.
Maybe to aid my chances.
She will see the podcast. The sister from Kaduna. Let's leave it like that. Go on.
she's my sister.
Let's leave it at that. She will understand.
Whatever. As long as she's from Kaduna.
No, she's not
please.
from Kaduna. You don't get it's inside joke.
Okay, please. If she's from Kaduna, that's when I'll not. But now that she's not from.
They,
Kaduna,
no,
so
that's where they met. Okay, so let's focus on the focus.
So what was the question again?
See, you've lost all focus. and so because I was going to actually say that, and that's why you actually have friends. So staying engaged with cycling, having some friends that move there.
Yeah.
Banter Liga groups that keep you engaged, and at least it's not. It won't be like seeing them, but I think that helps, right?
So
but
I think, like I said, I'm also lonely in the UK, but the loneliness is not that stretched.
Yeah.
In the sense that, one, I love what I'm doing.
Mhm.
I don't even feel like I'm working. I feel like I'm just cruising.
Yeah.
I love what I'm doing. So before I got my job, I was doing some other things that I didn't like, and it was always stressful for me going to work.
Yeah.
So, and again, some people work long shifts, 12 hours, 14 hours shifts. Well, you feel the
she is
loneliness. So,
complain for that thing.
for me, I'm not lonely because, one, I love what I'm doing. When I'm done with my job, I cycle.
Yeah.
When I'm not cycling, I have a goal. I have
City
a target.
Cyclers Club,
I
send
have
them a
target.
DM.
I have a strategy I'm implementing for myself. I know what I want to do in the UK in January. No, that plan is locked and loaded.
So
It's not going to change. And I won't say it on there.
no, don't say it because
No, you can't
Bola,
say
the way I say you are lonely, I don't know. I just want to interject. I'm just hearing marriage. Are you ready to marry?
I'm ready to
I
marry.
just want to say that I'm not saying that he has been soliciting
For-
I'm
for
always
people to
soliciting.
marry. Up and
Because I
down,
don't,
up
so
and down.
maybe it's because me, I don't always like all those nonsense cohabiting and all this. Like if you are ready and you have the money, don't marry.
you are ready,
Stop
you are
doing
ready.
all those
Me, I'm
things.
ready
Stop
to- I'm ready to get
rendezvousing
married.
and doing.
And I'm
Like
getting
you
married
now,
soon.
you are here, they are there. So now my guy
So
is
as you
there.
were saying, please
Dr.
proceed.
Bib.
Please proceed.
Yeah, so my own loneliness, I'm lonely, but my loneliness is reduced because I have some things occupying me.
Yeah.
So even when I'm not doing all these things,
So join a gym.
yeah,
Start to cycle.
again,
Yeah.
join a gym. I'm not in a gym.
Why did I feel like that shade was even there?
You are directing that route to me.
No,
Yeah, directing that shit that
it's
wrote to
even
me.
me. It should be me.
No, I know you're shading yourself, but
No, him, you're
are you
there.
admitting on air that you are lonely and you miss Rosimi? Yes or no, please?
Wait, what?
Yes
Your-
or
your
no?
silence
Because
is an answer.
hey,
1-1.
1-1. Otisai just, I like it.
But I did not deny that I was not missing him.
Say, do you mind stating to the camera? That's your camera, bro.
All of them are Bahari.
That's your camera.
Hey, I miss Rosimi now.
And you're lonely.
I'm not lonely.
You're miserable when he's not around.
I'm not. I have Christ and His Spirit. No. But
Oh yeah,
do
but
miss
I
him.
mean, I because it's the reality that even when I travel, like today, if I leave just Lagos to even Abuja, I feel lonely because I think it's something. I think it's things we don't talk about. Because when I travel, if you're not going to be with people where you are, when you are on your own, what your norm is like. Normally, my baby is running around, one is crying. All those things are not there. So, and I get what Lash, because people would just think that it's Lash lonely. It's not that kind of loneliness. There is some sort of comfort that everybody usually would need. Yep. And if you're not honest to yourself, you just say, no, I'm fine. But in reality, what he really is, somebody else in the house in the night that he'll be shouting on. Not really that, not just all you have to be happy. Just so that there's somebody
in the house.
That is
that's disturbing you. And that's interesting. Okay, so let's go back to Pathfinders. Because you and I know I plan to come to the UK on a tour of certain countries and all that. But mine is more.
Your trip. There are many of us that are waiting for
you
you
to
to
go.
travel that travel.
So mine is more the admission side.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the work and career side.
Yeah.
What are you doing with universities, and what do you think universities can do better in helping in that job career side? And are you working with any universities yet, or do you think it's not necessary, that it's the people that need to help their people, if you understand that line
actually,
of thinking?
thank you for that question. One of our long-term strategies is actually to partner with universities, because as people are, why do you go to school? To get knowledge in a particular field and probably get a job or launch your own business. So it's all are still career. So as people are in school approaching their final year, they don't have that skill to navigate the job market. They don't know how to, like I said, they don't know how to sell themselves. They have the skills, they've been taught all the things in school, and not straight to Nigerian universities. What they actually teach us abroad is actually relevant. So,
wow.
Like I said, no shade.
It's not shade.
So when you go, you get all these skills.
It's not shade, but it's not a shade.
When you get all these skills, you don't know how to sell it to the employer. Nobody will come into your head and see that you can do the job. It's what you tell them you can do, and they will believe. Like I said earlier, if I tell you I can give birth in an interview, you believe me.
Because context is key. Because another thing is, I would also believe that if you tell them something you can do and you can't do, they sack you. They don't wait 1 month.
Yeah, so
3 months.
That's the thing. That's the
months.
thing about companies abroad.
Yeah.
So when they employ you, there's no expectation on you for like the first 6 months. The first like few months is training. They want to get you up to speed. My line manager, he keeps telling me that he's trying to get me up to speed, but because I already have experience with the job, I know what I'm doing. I'm like, give me stuff to do. Give me stuff. So
But if you get in and you are not getting it, will they sack you immediately?
Yeah.
Do you think? Do you have any experience
I know
like that?
someone who I won't reveal names.
No,
So
just tell us the.
I know someone who got a job in cybersecurity, and it was.
That does sound like a very.
Sorry, I don't know
Difficult.
somebody.
No,
Let me not say I know
badass.
someone.
Okay. You heard of a story?
I heard of a story about someone who got a job in cybersecurity, and during the interview, the manager that employed him was like, he's going to train him. And later on, the manager that employed him left. So, and they got a new manager, and that one didn't have time to train him.
That was the end.
So they had to let him go because he didn't know the job. So, in as much as I'm saying sell yourself well,
You have to have
you
the
mentioned
knowledge.
that you have to have the knowledge.
Knowledge is
So
key.
the selling yourself well is just to place you higher than other candidates.
And universities do job fairs. Is it possible that for pathfinders and companies like Japa Limited, do we have to do our own thing to help our own people? Because I know they do job fairs, but I can imagine that they can't do job fair to help the Indian populace and to help the Chinese populace and they help the Nigerian populace. Is it that the job fairs that universities have, is it that it doesn't do enough of helping and preparing them?
I think we are
because
different.
universities have job centers, right? So,
I think we are different from job fairs. I think we are different from what the universities currently do.
okay.
They don't have the experience in the
Professional job market.
in the professional job market.
Okay.
We are a community of professionals.
Right.
We've
Okay.
gone through these things.
Okay.
It's our experience.
Okay.
I'm not telling that our experience is final. We're only just giving you our experience, and it's left to you to do a cocktail with our experience. Carve out your own parts. So if I tell you, I did this course, I did this course, I did this course, I did this. Sorry, I have a perfect example.
Okay.
So I know 3 data analysts.
Yeah.
One has a PhD.
Okay.
After his PhD, he became a data analyst.
Okay.
One started as a customer service operator in the company and he moved into a data analyst role.
Okay.
One did a particular course and started as a data analyst. Those are 3 data analysts. That's what they have in common. But their paths are different. So we'll bring people like this on our webinars to discuss. So when you hear all these things, what people have done to land their role, if you're aspiring to be a data analyst, it's not left for you to now make your own path through this.
You can
these
use that
stories
as a
you've heard.
guiding path.
So it's not as if I will tell you, I did this, and I'm expecting you to I'm expecting you to follow what I've done. I don't expect you. Even when I hear people's story, I didn't follow one particular person's role. I got advice from a project manager, a product manager, a procurement person, and I carved my own parts.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting you to also carve your own part. So we are not magic. We're not magicians whereby we are promising you a job. We're just giving you people's experience and inspiring you and showing that people are doing well abroad. Now, not everyone is doing blue collar jobs. That people are actually doing white collar jobs. People are making it, and it's not like it's racism that is stopping you from getting a job. You're probably not selling yourself well. Or you're equipping yourself with the best of skills.
And this is a perfect place to just put a bow in our conversation today, because just like I said on the podcast where Nigerians are saying don't trust agents, we all need to do a better job of shining light.
Yeah.
Like, it's the reason why I think I approved, to begin to do a podcast like this, is that I usually just feel like just do your own small thing in your own space and help people you can help. But the reality is that if we don't also shine light, you can't encourage other people like you who are happy to help people. Your webinars are free, right?
Yeah,
Pathfinders, consult.co.uk, right?
Yeah.
So you visit their websites, you follow their pages, like the webinars are free. Now, if you need a specific help
Yep.
and you need them to, maybe consult for you, that you definitely have to pay for their time. Like you call, you pay for my time.
Yeah.
Like if you come to our office today, you want me to talk to your mind, you pay 50K to 100K depending. Like, because I've been doing it and I'm going to give you my time.
Yep.
And you want my knowledge.
Yep.
Now, what I would just say is that people need to understand first that it's okay to ask for help.
Yep.
Definitely.
And on the other side, if you have something in you that is unique to you and you know that people need to hear, you've got to help people.
Yeah.
It's not to be selfish with the knowledge.
Let me add something. So, like I said, we're a community of professionals, and we need professionals to assist, because apart from even doing our webinars, we have this free mentor and mentee session whereby people who are already in the setting will just advise others, and when others are being advised and they also gotten into the
they can keep helping, so
they can come back.
So basically, more professionals need to come in.
More professionals need to come in.
More people can join the community, both for the learning and to mentor people.
Yeah.
So guys,
so that it keeps growing.
It's a great session. The UK is still the place to go. January 2024 intake is open now. You want to apply to the UK, January and May is open now. You want to apply for scholarship. This is August. This is the time to begin those processes. Send a DM to Japa Partners or Ilewe Education, Ilewe_edu or at King of Japa. We are happy to help you. But please, we are also looking for people that are serious. Like he said, already you can't help too many people, or you can't help everybody, but you can help a lot of people who are ready to go. And he was telling me yesterday that right now the UK is prime for young people, because with the dependent thing still hanging over our heads.
Yeah, with the dependent out, so single people can
come in.
Single people can come in.
And there's jobs. There are jobs. So, guys, this is the time.
I wish I could just pull out my phone and just show my LinkedIn DMs. I'll have people running to the airport tomorrow.
Yeah. And so what I think we'll also do is we'll just have a webinar with you, maybe one of our Zoom webinars, and bring you on again, and we'll put that on our platform. Thank you guys for watching episode, listening on Spotify, watch it on YouTube. Dr. Babe is one of our humble co-hosts.
Yeah, we need to go offline and talk about the whole head and arts.
All right, guys. Thank you. Love and light, guys.